How's the bacon, did you say?
Batistuta! Oh, what a fantastic hit! Roy Keane on Haaland. Here's Sancho. Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Crociati e tutti campioni, son del Parma i croni calciatori, vinceranno, sono leoni.
Vivo Deportivo, vamos a ganar este partido. Y digo de primera, Deportivo es directivo, vivo. Vamos a ganar, la afición nos va a apoyar y ayudar y a chillar y acompañar. Aston Villa, that's how. Aston Villa, that's who. Aston Villa, that's how. Aston Villa, that's who. Aston Villa, that's how. Aston Villa, that's who.
Hello and welcome to the Prawn Sandwich Podcast, Season 3, Episode 6. I'm your host, Nathan Cupid. I'm joined by Dylan McKenzie.
Hello.
And James Jackson.
Hello, everyone.
And we're back for Episode 2 of the Football Manager Chronicles. I hope you enjoyed the theme music as the entrance. We've really got into some top-level content for what we're going to fire at you. So, thoughts on the theme music, lads?
I was blown away by how much I enjoyed Parma's anthem when I went searching for one, and I found that after the inspiration of your Raj Aston Villa song and Dill's quality Deportivo song.
Deportivo is my favourite, I have to say.
No,
It's
it was
phenomenal.
I just found it. I just thought it was Raj, like a punk. I don't know what it is. It's just funny.
And as always, another array of classic football shirts.
Yeah,
I've got an NFL shirt on this week.
It's Super Bowl week.
for the listeners rather than the YouTube viewers, Nathan's got a classic England Euro 2000 shirt with McManaman on the back. I've got Barca 96-97 Ronaldo top on, and Dill's got.
I've got a Chargers alternate with Eckler 30 on the back if anyone knows who he is.
He's also got a
For our
Sancho
American
shirt.
listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a Sancho shirt and an Apple Tree FC shirt in the background too.
And Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, I see Ric Flair. There's actually a reason why I've got this shirt on as well, but we'll get into it. So I'll let Jamie take over now.
Yeah, so part 2 of our FM Chronicles. Before we get started on our own saves, I just want to say thanks to everybody that sent in pictures of their own Champman and Football Manager saves. Keep them coming. Stephen from T7 Clothing sent one in of Boston. Was it Boston United?
Boston United.
Yeah. Love the fact João Paiva and Mike Duff were already signed. Absolutely quality. You cannot go wrong with Mike Duff on Champman 0102. Phenomenal. Bill Graham sent us one of a Crystal Palace squad today as well.
I got that last night. I got that last night off him.
Milan Barros up top.
Yeah.
For him on. That was Champman 03 or 4. Loving the variety of the games being shown. So hopefully people just send us them. I pure love seeing them, mate.
Oh, absolutely. Me and the lad at work, Stephen McCready, I'll give him a shout because he won't let it go. He eventually pushed me into starting the YouTube channel after putting it off. But we started one at work on the work computer on Championship Manager 4. We've got an old firm, Celtic and Rangers. So
busy life and the milk life. Being able to play football.
Always, mate. Always.
Quality. Well, quick recap. I'll start on my save first. So quick recap from episode 1, what we got up to. We covered pre-season and that. I left it after a defeat against Fiorentina on the opening day and then a victory over Juventus, leaving myself 10th in the league as I went into September. For those, if you haven't listened to episode 1, then it's a bit mad that you're listening to episode 2 of it. But go back and listen to episode 1 if you haven't. And if you can't remember, I'm in charge of Parma in the 99-2000 season on FM20. again, shout out to the FM Retro group for creating such a mint database for it as well.
Absolutely.
But started off September, and it's just started with an international break straight away, which I hate them in real life at the start of the season, but I hate them even more in Football Manager. You're just getting into your stride and you're excited on a new save, and then international break. So,
do you not click on? I'm pure stupid, me. I don't click on. Like, you know when it's like players have been called up for national duty.
Surprisingly, every time.
I just skip it because I'm not arsed, and then I get caught out when it says in the top corner, 14 days till next game. I'm like,
oh no, I love the international break, me.
On Footy Manager.
Yeah, mate. If you've got players in an international squad that don't really deserve to be there, like Gareth Southgate on mine, then
I've got more of a fear that my players are getting injured.
That's exactly it. I'm always shitting myself.
I'm not bothered.
Fortunately, I got through this international break, 2-week one and all, unscathed, injury-wise. I was all right. I had a little click on England to see who was in their squad, and nice to see a 17-year-old Joe Cole scoring 2 goals on his international debut against Ukraine. 3-0 victory. Alan Shearer got the other. But anyway, we're back to Serie A action mid-September with an away fixture to Roma, who was sat 15th on the 15th of September, away to Roma. Nice touch. First match I noticed, Pierluigi Collina was refereeing.
Yes.
Class.
I forgot how hard your start was.
Yeah, I was making up the fixtures at the start. My team for the Roma game was Crespo and Amoroso up top, Ortega just behind them, Mark Van Bommel, summer signing, alongside Dino Baggio in centre mid, Bog Hossian as a CDM, and Vinoli and Fuser as attacking wing backs, with Cannavaro, Thuram centre half, Gigi Buffon in nets. In a pretty dull affair where nicks all happened, it finished 0-0. I can't really report on anything. Amoroso, whose attributes on it are absolutely mint, for the 3rd game in a row got like a 6.4 rating. So I'm like falling out with him big time. Like I thought him and Crespo would be absolutely unreal together up top, but 3 games in, and he's not doing much at all. If you remember, I mentioned on the first episode that when you take over an Italian club, none of the squad numbers are assigned.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Francesco Totti, number 6.
Oh, piss off.
Aye. So whoever's in, whatever CPU is in charge of Roma on this save has handed Totti the number 6 shirt.
Love it. Outside the box.
What?
It upset me big time.
Yeah, that's quite.
That would annoy me, like big time.
So, moving on to my 4th game of the season in this horrible start. It was at home to Inter, an Inter Milan side that contains Ronaldo, Christian Vieri, Alvaro Recoba. I changed things up a little bit for the Inter game. I dropped on Amoroso and I moved Ortega to play up front with Crespo, and Fabian O'Neill, my summer signing, gave him his first start in camp. The rest of the team was unchanged, pretty solid midfield of Van Bommel, Baggio and Bog Hossian. They play really well together, and the defence is the same as the Roma game. And in an absolute mental game for Italian football at the time, Ronaldo gives Inter Milan the lead, Crespo equalises, Vieri gives Inter Milan the lead again, Crespo equalises, then Zanetti puts them 3-2 up. So I had to just throw everything on. Amoroso was on, all my attacking players fired on, and I was playing like 2 cams and 3 strikers at the time. And then in the 92nd minute, Amoroso bags. In the 94th minute, Amoroso bags. So I'm now 4-3 up. And then the 96th minute, Di Biagio own goal, beating it 5-3.
Oh, get it.
3 goals in 4 minutes of stoppage time.
That is phenomenal. That is so unlike Italy at that period of time.
I know.
That's a screaming down the house game. That like.
Oh, well, I was going absolutely berserk. Like, and after I'd been slagging off like Amoroso, like in my head, like whilst playing this so much, and then like just like slating him there to use, and then for him to come off the bench and score his first 2 goals of the season in such a big game, just chuffed. One bad thing, Dino Baggio got injured in the game and was out for 2 weeks afterwards.
Dino.
I know. So it was our next game on the 30th was a home tie against Perugia. So I thought I'll rotate things a little bit. Started a young Marco Di Vaio up top.
Nice.
Who was a player I actually I was really fond of when I was younger. For some reason, I had him as like the Italian Kevin Phillips in my head.
He was good. FIFA 05, he's phenomenal.
But he was a good player. He's not very good on this mind. His attributes aren't that good. I had to bring Roberto Breda in for Dino Baggio in centre mid. Didn't start Amoroso again. As I said, Di Vaio and Crespo up top. And I gave Puyol his first start ahead of Thuram at centre back, but the rest was unchanged. I thought I'd absolutely hammer them, even with that team, and it took a Fabian O'Neill penalty late on to get the win. It was only a 1-0 win. I gave Antonio Cassano his debut. 17-year-old Antonio Cassano came off the bench. But decent, pretty happy with that month. 2 wins and a draw, can't really complain. So that's that for September. So I was 4th in the league going into October. Fiorentina were top. Batistuta had absolutely
17 goals.
Scoring in every game, basically. Every game. So on the 5th of October, away to Torino, who, when it came up with the starting 11s, I noticed had Ian Taylor on loan from Aston Villa.
Okay, now.
I'm good in the transfer market, like.
So I started Crespo and Ortega up top, O'Neill in cam, Van Bommel and Boghossi in centre mid with Breda playing in that CDM. Brought Thuram back in for Puyol, but the rest was unchanged. Vanoli, Fuser wing backs, Buffon in goal, Cannavaro centre half. Stormed the game in the first half, 3-0 up at half time with goals from Lilian Thuram, Vanoli, and an absolute worldie from Fabian O'Neill, which went on to win 3rd in goal of the month. And then just fell to pieces the second half, and only ended up scraping a 3-2. Marco Ferrant scored for them, and a Pecchio, I don't know who that was. That was his surname though. So 3-2 victory. I checked the Serie A table and stats and that after that game. Fiorentina won 4-0 that weekend. Batistuta, 10 goals in 6 games.
Yes, Batistuta.
Obviously.
All worldies.
So that's after 5 games. 6 games in the league. So I'm 5 unbeaten. Fiorentina are top with 18 points from a possible 18. I'm 3rd. An international break's coming up again. And for some reason, you know when you get a couple of players called up, and you can just say, and they'll ask you if you want to postpone a game or not. Well, I didn't read properly, did I? So I said I postpone the game. So now I've got 22 games without a fucking game.
Okay, now
22 days without a game, man.
Yes, him.
It gives time for Dino Baggio to come back from injury and that. But during that international break, after going unscathed the first time, Gigi Buffon gets injured 4 to 6 weeks out.
Mate.
Keepers never get injured on that either.
Nah. And my sub goalkeeper, Michello, is like 2 stars compared to Buffon's 5.
I remember you said in the first pod, he said he was absolute shite for like a pre-season game or something.
I was dreading because Buffon got injured in pre-season, so I thought I was gonna have to play him in the league game. Unfortunately, Buffon came back to fitness, but this out during that Raj 22-day international break. So I missed a round of games in there, so I ended up with a game in hand, which I didn't really want. Fiorentina finally dropped points with a 2-2 draw against Lazio. Batistuta scored again though.
4th probably.
And I finally got another game after. So my first game in October was on the 5th. My second game in October on the 27th. And it was away to Venezia, who were bottom of the league, 18th. who had a couple of like Champman legends playing in the side at the time. Ibrahim Bar, remember him?
Yeah.
Right winger. And Taribo West
Nice.
playing centre back for them. They also had Galletti on loan from me, and he was allowed to play because in Italy, like, you were always allowed to play against your parent club. So basically, due to the injury to Buffon, I put my strongest possible 11 out. Apart from, obviously, you had to bring in Michelo for Buffon. It was 0-0. I think it was 0-0. I haven't made like too many notes on this. I think it was 0-0 at half time. I ended up winning the game 2-0. Dino Baggio scored and Amoroso came off the bench to score. Ortega got 2 assists in the game, and I tried experiment with a 4-2-3-1 late in the game because you could play Amoroso as a inverted winger on the left.
Yeah.
I just thought his attributes are that good. I was like, I need to try and get the best out of him. So if I play Crespo as a lone striker and Amoroso on the left and Ortega on the right and O'Neill as the cam, like, they're all like class in those positions on paper, just doesn't do anything when I'm trying to manage them in that situation. 3 days later, at home to Verona, that's on the 30th of October. So I decided to start with the 4-2-3-1 in that. So just like I said there, Amoroso on the left, Ortega on the right, O'Neill in cam, Crespo up top, got Van Bommel and Baggio centre midfield, and a flat back 4 in this game of Vanoli, Cannavaro, Lassisi, and Turan playing at right back.
Salou Lassisi.
Salou Lassisi.
He's a mint player in Premier Manager 98-99.
His attributes are unreal on this. His potential on it is like 5-star.
Oh.
He's wanted by Barca and Real Madrid.
What a player he is.
He's only like 20-year-old. So my experiment on 4-2-3-1 got off to a flyer when Amoroso got injured on the 29th minute, so I had to make a substitution and switch back to my 4-4-2 diamond that I've been enjoying. Which didn't bother us because like that formation works, but it was just annoying that I was going to try something a bit different, and that ended up. And plus, I've still got in my mind that I want to do this Ronaldinho thing. So in my head, I want to play Ronaldinho on the inverted winger on the left hand side, cutting in and scoring worldies for Parma. That's my vision that I've seen. And but anyways, back to the 4-4-4-2 diamond. Won the game 2-0. Crespo with a couple of goals. After that game, I was second with only 3 points off top after 8 games played, which is quite good as well because I've got that game in hand. So I'm thinking I might achieve my target of winning the Serie A in my first season. And then November. So I start November 2nd in the league. My review first, I started taking note of what my like performance reviews were by the board. B for my October. Oh, for like, well, overall, how are we getting on after October? The board were giving us a B. And it was at this point as well, we'd recorded the first episode. So I decided, after hearing how Dion Dublin was doing for Nath, I thought I'd have a look at Dion Dublin's stats. Wait till you hear this, eh? It's the 2nd of November and Dion Dublin has played 28 games.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you want to take a guess at how many goals he scored?
14.
Nath?
50.
Bear in mind there's Intertoto Cup games in this as well.
50 or something.
50. 27.
Jesus.
27 goals in 28 games. So I dug a bit deeper and went to see like where they started from. So obviously you like Nath said, started in the first rounds of the Intertoto Cup. Dion Dublin had 9 goals in the first 3 games of the Intertoto
Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
Oh, good God, Nath.
He scored like 6 in one, 2 in the other, and 1 in the other. Quality.
Goal machine. Goal machine.
For the listeners, Nath just held up a framed picture of Dion Dublin to the camera.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the listeners. I'm not addicted to the YouTube channel now.
Condition Panini card, by the way.
It is. And Henning Berg's chasing him in the background.
No, I absolutely love that Dion Dublin stats there. 27 goals in 28 games.
Nah, that's absolutely class.
And I bet he hasn't picked up a single England cap either.
No, he's not.
Keegan out. Keegan out.
Get him to Parma.
I might have to, if Amoroso doesn't book his ideas up, I might have to get a bid in for Big Dion.
Hey, Dion would love it in Parma.
But so 3rd of November, I've got a home game against Regina, who are 15th in the table, and I reverted back to my 4-4-2 diamond. Resting Ortega, I've got Crespo starting up top with Marco Deval with him, O'Neill in Cam, Van Bommel and Baggio and Bog Hossian, my midfield 3, Vinoli, Fuse and my wing backs, Cannavaro and Thuram centre half, Mikolo in goal. So Dino Baggio puts us ahead on the 15th minute. Fabian O'Neill makes it 2-0 on the 23rd minute by a penalty. It's quality on pens. Absolutely, he's my number 1 penalty take ahead of Crespo and everyone. He's absolutely class. He's a snip as well. I've got pure obsessed with Fabian O'Neill after this save. I went and done some research on him and is a Raj character. Anyways, Lilian Thuram on the 64th minute made it 3-0 before Roberto Baronio pulled one back for Regina, and then Hernan Crespo on the 92nd minute made it 4-1. So I was quite pleased when, I know White is when Buffon got injured, but Buffon got injured, and then my next fixtures were Venezia, Verona, and Regina, and there's 2 clean sheets in those first games and only conceded 1. So 3 games, conceded 1 goal. He's doing pretty well.
Fair dues.
It's all right, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair dues, big man.
So I had another look at what my rivals were doing. Batistuta now has 14 goals in 9 games after a brace against Udinese.
Obviously, man. That man's on fire. Imagine him and Dion up top, man.
Combined age of 60 odd, but they're banging the goals.
Goals everywhere, man.
Because of my goalkeeper issue, I was having to, when they just regen a keeper for you.
Yeah.
And they're 17 and they're the worst attributes known to man. Well, I had to have one of them on the bench, so I was getting I was starting to really whitey that I was gonna get another keeper injury. So I brought in a regen YTS keeper as backup as well. So because I sold a keeper in the summer without thinking that I need 3 keepers. It was a total oversight. And then I was looking at my squad, right, and I was like, I want to get Puyol minutes, and I can't remember playing him for ages. And I looked, I've not played him the previous 4 games. So I was like, why not? And I had a look, and he's been on international duty at this point for 6 weeks. So I had a look at Spain's under-21 fixtures, and I hadn't had a game in ages. Why is he still away with it?
Does he not play for under-20s as well?
Maybe.
Because I've got, it's not in my thingy. I got Armini on mine.
Yeah.
Come towards the end of the season, it's not a big thing in my thing. I lose him for 6-8 weeks because he goes to the under-21 Euros and then he goes to the under-20 World Cup.
So I can't even get the lad minutes, and his potential is 4.5 stars. At the minute he's only 2.5, 3. So I need to get him the minutes to get his ability up, and he's away bloody dossing with the Spanish kids.
I see if he's in one of them squads. That's mad.
An Olympics or something, I don't know.
No, I can't mind now. Looking back, I remember just getting frustrated. And then,
one did I forgot to ask you. Have you 2 only got 5 subs real life, or is it
9?
I've
got 9 subs.
Aye. What about you, Nave?
5.
You got 5. Oof.
You've only got 5 subs.
Well, it used to be 5 in the Prem, didn't it?
I did used to be 5 in the Prem.
Yeah. In the 90s, so I was I would wonder how much he had.
It's hard. Mint though.
Anyway, so after realizing that I didn't have I wasn't playing Puyol, I thought I'd give Lasisi minutes, some more minutes as well. Now the 10th of November, I was away to Piacenza, who were 11th. Colina was ref again, which was nice to see.
Nice.
Started Crespo and Ortega up top, with O'Neill just behind them. The midfield three, Dynamo, Van Bommel, Baggio and Boghossian. Played a flat back four since I was away. And it was a mid-table side with Vanoli, Cannavaro, Lassisi and Thuram, and Micholo in nets. Vanoli, the left back, is wanted by like Barca, Real Madrid, Man United. Doesn't get called up to the Italy squad, and he's unreal. He's absolutely phenomenal. And in this game, scored on the 67th minute before Tomic equalised with a penalty for Piacenza. And then Vanoli got another on the 88th minute.
Nice.
Get in.
So brace from your left back, who's much sought after to win the game 2-1. So I was thinking, like, I'm flying here. That's 7 wins in a row now. I brought on Casano for some more minutes in that game, and a young Johnny A. Montano, the Colombian attacking midfielder,
Nice.
who took up one of my non-EU.
I don't know what you didn't want.
The one I didn't want. Took up one of my non-EU spaces.
Yeah.
So that's 7 wins in a row now. 10 games in. Second after those 10 games. Fiorentina still 3 points ahead of us. The top 3 goal scorers in the league. Batistuta with 15, Ronaldo with 13, and Pippo Inzaghi with 9 for Juve.
Nice.
But totally forgot like how unreal Juve's squad is on that.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously, like I beat them in the second game 3-1. That was a Juve that had Del Piero, Zidane, Inzaghi, Davids, Montero, like absolute quality players. And then my last game of the month was the 25th of November, and it was at home to Lazio. So obviously I've played a lot of lower league sides after my tough opening game. And obviously in real life, this was the season Lazio won the league.
Yeah.
So they had like Veron playing for them, Marcelo Salas, who else did they have? Pavel Nedved. So absolute quality players in their team at the time. In the build up to that game, Vanoli got injured. 23rd after just scoring a brace in the game before. So I had to play. Can you remember Michel Serena?
Yeah.
He can play either left wing back or right wing back. So
Ooh, that's quite good.
Brought him into the side. Diego
FM is a cruel mistress with injuries in that man.
It is, because I was also missing Diego Fusi through injury in this game as well. So that was both me fullbacks. Like
stabs you in the fucking heart every time you get on a run or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mint run, beating all the teams I was expected to beat. I'm coming up against Lazio at home, like pure hard fixture. Both your first choice wing backs are injured in the book.
Yeah, boom.
Back to reality.
Yeah. So that was the same weekend as the Milan derby. So if you want to know the result of that, Inter won 3-2 with a brace from Alvaro Recoba.
Nice.
Who was available on loan at the start of the season, but I opted to loan Pirlo instead.
Silly boy.
But I've not actually. I know I've not mentioned Pirlo at all during this. At this point, I was just bringing him on as a sub from time to time.
Imagine not playing the metronome.
We'll get on to him as it goes on. All in due course. But I was just so impressed with how well O'Neill was doing that. Like Pirlo on the game is a cam, so he's not getting the originally like Ortega was my first choice cam. Now obviously I'm playing him as a forward alongside Crespo because Amoroso is shit. And I've got Fabian O'Neill playing just behind the front too. So I've just been bringing Pirlo on for him from time to time. So this home game against Lazio, who was at 8th. Sven-Göran Eriksson in charge of them, by the way.
Sven is the menace.
Yes.
So my starting 11 is Crespo, Ortega up top, O'Neill just behind them. The ever reliable Van Bommel, Baggio and Boghossian. Just rolls off the tongue, eh? So many B's in those names.
It does so well.
I tried to sell Boghossian at the start of the season as well, and he's been like my best midfielder. I've had to apologise to him.
That's what I like about Football Manager as well. You're like, I don't want him, and then they mint.
Proper class. And then such a rotated back four. This Serena at left back, Lassisi and Cannavaro centre half, and Thuram playing right back. And like for a game like that, I'd much rather have had Cannavaro and Thuram like partner each other. and especially Vinoli after scoring a bloody brace like in the game before. Anyway, so we get a penalty early on. I totally forgot that Ortega was actually my first choice penalty taker. So watching the game, I was like, getting O'Neill's bagging this, no bother. Ortega steps up, puts it away for his first goal of the season, so I couldn't complain. And then we concede a penalty. And can you remember Almeida, Argentinian central midfielder? Well, he converts the penalty to equalise for them.
Oh, mate.
Second half, Dino Baggio on the 50th minute puts us 2-1 up.
Stupid Dino.
Yeah. Juan Sebastian Veron comes back to haunt us on the 64th minute and equalises for Lazio, so it's 2s each.
The little witch.
Crespo then puts us 3-2 up on the 70th minute.
What's going on with Italian football?
Aye, only for Marcelo Salas to equalise on the 74th minute. And then I thought I'd won it on the 90th minute when Dino Baggio puts Parma 4-3 up, going into stoppage time against Lazio at home. And then Crystal Palace cult hero Attilio Lombardo scores an equaliser in the 92nd minute of the game.
I tell you what, I am watching Golazzo every single week as a band if them scores are coming in.
I know, man. Imagine that. 4-4. You know what the best of it was? I was playing this, and my sister was like nearby, and she was talking to us, and I was just kind of like semi-ignoring. I was like, "He's scored here." Oh, for fuck's sake! I had to hide how angry I was because like Fiona was there as well, and I didn't want to look like I was pure booting off on Football Manager. So I was like, "Fucking hell, man!" Like, if I was on my own, I'd have flipped like.
Boot off, it's mint.
So 4-4. So my run of 7 wins in a row comes to a halt in a dramatic 4-4 draw at home to Lazio. And then, well, I thought that was my last game in November, and I've turned the page and I'm here. November 30th, AC Milan away, they're currently sat 5th in the league. Shevchenko's first season at them. They've got Shevchenko and Bierhoff up top. No use. And obviously the defensive Maldini, Costa Curta. Who else did they have in there? Can't remember.
Kaladze.
Kaladze. They had a young Gattuso in centre mid.
Panucci in that squad as well.
Christian Panucci. He was right back for them. And Ambrosini.
Oh, Ambrosini won't
and
play.
Dimitri Albertini.
Squad.
So I decided when I was looking at my team, I was thinking I need to generate some money because I didn't have much, and I was looking at who could maybe be disposable in that squad. And I thought I've got Thuram that can play right back. Lasisi is like coming on; he's been getting good ratings playing centre half. Puyol can play right back when he eventually comes back from international duty.
I don't know what's happening here.
Serena, he can fill in left back and right back, and Bonavaro can fill in left back and right back. So Diego Fusa, pal.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were going Cannavaro. Oh, shit myself there.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because when you said Thuram can play centre back, I was like, what?
Oh, no.
I was going to say, Stills Cannavaro, I'm like, game over, mate.
Would not do that, eh? Would not do that. No. Diego Fusa, I started offering him about, started like getting the feelers out, and some clubs are starting to generate interest. So I reckon I'll be able to sell him by January. But I'll get about 10 million for him. But he's 31 and he's out of contract the following season. So
nice.
10 million will be all right. So after Ariel Ortega scores his first goal for us in that home game against Lazio, he's then injured for 4 weeks right after, of course.
Yeah.
It's Football Manager, isn't it? Amoroso's back from injury, so I thought I'll give him the start in this crucial away game against AC Milan. I've got Crespo up top, Amoroso, O'Neill just behind them, Van Bommel, Baggio, Boghossian, and then same back four and goalkeeper as the previous game. This game pissed me clean off. This was one of them games, right, where you just dominate for the whole thing, and you just know you're never going to score. You watch the little... Obviously, I play with a 2D pitch, so I watch the dots maze through the defence and miss chance after chance after chance. I had 62% possession in the game, and veteran Dimitri Albertini bagged twice. Oliver Bierhoff missed a pen, and the hand Ambrosini sent off as well. And I still couldn't, nothing went right for us in terms of an attacking perspective. Like Albertini's second goal come like very late on, and Ambrosini was sent off quite early, but nah, it's nothing. So first defeat since the first game of the season. Lost 2-0 away to AC Milan, and that finishes off November. My performance review is now only at C+, and I am noticing I am hemorrhaging coin every month. There's like 2.7 million like down each month from like wages and that, because there's no TV money at all in Italy.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the Parma rot.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's falling quite realistic. I'm gonna have to start calling players.
Don't worry about it. 2 more seasons, you'll have Mutu and Adriano up top.
It was another reason why I wanted to sell. I needed to find somebody that I could deem surplus to requirements and like not overly rely on. There's absolutely no way now I'd sell Boghosian in centre mid, because that midfield three are unreal. They're never injured. Like even when Baggio got injured, it was like 10 days. They're all sevens, like at least a 7 every game. So like they're set in stone. There's no way Thuram or Cannavaro's going, and there's fucking no chance Buffon's going. So, I thought Diego Fuses he's the sacrificial lamb to avoid a real life Parma catastrophe. So after 12 games, that AC Milan game was my game in hand, by the way, that I missed for that 22-day international break.
Yeah.
Right. So we've all played the same amount of games. The league table as it stands after 12 games: Fiorentina top, 32 points. Inter Milan second, 31 points. Juve third with 29. Parma fourth, 26. Milan fifth, 24 points. Roma are sixth with 22 points. Batistuta leads the goal scoring chart with 16. Ronaldo 13. Christian Vieri 10. Crespo and Inzaghi joint fourth with 9 goals.
Nice.
Fair play.
So after, I was getting so excited when I was like hammering all those shitty teams and was like second and only 3 points behind Fiorentina, but those last 2 games have brought us back down to earth a bit. Like the Milan defeat and that like crushing 4-4 draw at Lazio and Antonio Lombardo. So I think it would be him and all that. Like when Antonio Lombardo got that ball at the edge of the box and I went, he's fucking scoring here. Like just because it was him. I was like, he played for twice the season before.
Yeah, he was coming.
You just knew it was coming.
You just know.
Some exciting games in that Serie A in 99-2000.
Absolutely.
But so to kind of summarise where I am at the minute, happy with Crespo, love my midfield three, happy with my defence when they're all fit. Even that Serena's filled in really well when Vanoli's been injured. But fucking Amoroso, like actually shite. And to be honest, I'm not too happy with Ortega either. Like he's got a few assists, but I know I'm playing him as a forward rather than a cam because O'Neill's doing so well. But we'll wait and see. I think my excitement of that I could do this in the first season is definitely like realism's hit us now. I was like, this is going to be a harder job than I thought it was 2 games ago when I was beating Regina.
Reality's kicked in.
Do you think you need more? Like, do you think you need more of a squad, maybe?
Definitely
to push on a bit because your 11's mint.
I think I need like another world-class forward to play alongside Crespo.
Oh, well, you know where one's hanging around.
Get the next plane to Birmingham and see if I can get the Jubes in.
I've heard that they enjoy percussion instruments in Parma. Like.
No, to be fair, like I've started scouting South America loads because obviously at that period, like I remember Argentina won the Under-20 World Cup at that time with players like Saviola, Pablo Aimar, Diego Milito, like Boyo as well. Andres D'Alessandro, Diego Placenta, Juan Pablo Sorin. All these players are still playing in South America and they're available for pure cheap, like just a couple of mil. So that's where I'm scouting at the minute. Like, I'm going to end up fucking myself over because I'm going to end up with about 7 Argentinians or something. They'll all get called up for a youth tournament, and I'll be relying on them all in the first team.
Puyol will be playing for them and all.
But nah, I definitely 100% need another world-class striker.
Yeah.
I think that's the missing piece of the jigsaw, really, is just that.
Nice.
I think the midfield's mint. Dino Baggio, I'm pure in love with Dino Baggio. Like,
I love Dino Baggio so much.
Absolutely class. And like, I maybe need Thuram's best position on it's at wing back,
Right.
back wing back. So I think I maybe just need to like sign like a top centre back as well.
Yeah.
So I can play Thuram at right wing back and all. So
David May's on loan at Man United.
But yeah, so fourth in the table after we're going into December. But happy so far, pure enjoying it. Like it's
absolutely.
It's the most fun I've had on a Football Manager save in a long time. Like just in terms of just sheer enjoyment. Even when I'm like losing and like I said before, like, I got a bit annoyed when Lombardo scored, but it's Attilio Lombardo scoring on a, you know what I mean? Just the fact it was Lombardo scoring, I found funny. So yeah, that's my progress. That's my progress so far.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So which one of you guys want to go next?
Argan, if you want.
Yeah, go on.
Same order as last time.
Yeah, same order as last time. Continuity.
Right then. Deportivo, pure in love. I'm pure enjoying it, lads. I'm like the best thing I've ever started. Just like a little recap. Obviously, last time, people listening, like my season doesn't start till my first game of the season is until October the 18th. So for me, it was like just getting signings in. So if you remember, I signed Armini, Moa, Nemecha, and White.
Yeah.
So September started with my discrimination of wingers continuing. Basically, for listeners, I was just selling every winger because of my formation, playing 4-2-3-1, but with 3 narrow cams. Borja Galan went to Albacete for 250k, and I can't really say it. Claudio Buevueva went to Las Palmas for 225k.
Noble attempt there, Dill. Noble attempt. Well done.
Right. Beauvue.
Babueva.
Aye, there you go. But I'm not gonna lie, right? Because they were going to like Division 2 teams, I had to shit myself thinking, oh, but I made a mistake here. Like, I wasn't selling them to other Secunda B teams. They were all going to the division above, like Las Palmas and Albacete. I was like, oh, fuck. But I thought, no, I'm going to stick to what I want to try with the 3 narrow cams and see how it works. Because I've never really been a fan of wingers on Footy Manager lately, the last 3 games. So on the 18th of September, got another player in, but he put him in the under 20 team. Pablo Suarez on loan from Betis. Got Pablo Suarez from 190k from Betis, 18-year-old striker, straight to the under 20s team. But the reason I mentioned it is we'll go on to it in the season. And then I loaned striker Luna Campini from AC Milan for the season, and that's my business done.
That's nice. Imagine, like, because you're in like the 3rd tier of Spain. So imagine a team in League One loaning a player from AC Milan.
Oh, I totally shot realism out the water with my signings, like loaning people from Tottenham, Man City, and AC Milan. But
that's
but it's the risk though, because like obviously I told you about the financial stuff.
Yeah,
I've got all these players off the books. Campanini's only on $1,000 a week. I've only got to pay $1,000 a week. Nemecha's my most expensive loan, $3,000 a week.
Yeah.
That Bueva that you said, whatever, he was on like $8,000 a week. So like the wingers were on quite a lot of money. So to get them off the wages was quite good. So as I told you last time, we only won 1 pre-season game, got beat off Sheffield Wednesday. So the first game in September was, as I mentioned, long servant of the club, Alex Bergantinos' testimonial versus Belenenses of the Portuguese Premier Division. Ended up losing 3-2, but to be honest, it was just one of those games where like you make like 9 subs, and that just I'm seeing how people are. Good things was Nemecha scored on his debut, and Bergantinos got a testimonial. He didn't play for them, so he mustn't have had anything to do with them. He just played 90 minutes for me. So after the game, I thought I could maybe do with some midfield reinforcements, even though I said my business was done. So we approached 35-year-old free agent Sonny Montari.
Nice! Nice!
Don't get too excited, lads, because the greedy bastard won 12 grand a week.
Oh, Sully, man.
You know.
What a nightmare.
I wish I could tell you who he ended up signing for, but I went in a total pop with him and just removed him off my shortlist and everything. But I can't have a mission of get the finances back and give Sonny Montari like
I know
grand a week.
Everything.
Imagine doing that though. Like, oh, I've done so well to get. It is pure fun when you like when you go in like your wage budget and you see it.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I've done fucking good here. I should be an accountant. And then
Well, that's the water. Like all my signings have been loans, apart from the young lad from Betis. And like, because it's a low division, right? All I had to do with him was a wage, a promotion like increasage, and a goal bonus. You know, like sometimes you have like 40 different things to go for. The Montari one's like unused sub bonus, substitute bonus, top goal scorer bonus. Like, Sully, man, you're 35 midfield and CDM, you're not going to get top goal scorer. Like, I'm just like, nah, sorry, mate.
To be fair, though, with all your signings you've brought in, imagine if you brought in Montari, like the board must have been like, oh, this manager's got connections.
He's a mate. But yeah, so moved on in pre-season, so we lost that. So we haven't won a pre-season game yet, which is a bit worrying. But we played on the 19th. We played Villa Ables. Most of the pre-season games now are against other Secunda teams because all the other leagues in the world have started, apart from ours, lowers. So nice little 3-0 win over Villa Ables. 35-year-old Colombian forward Miku scored a pen. Salva Ruiz, left back, scored, and Capini scored on his debut.
Nice.
And the best thing about this month was, which I didn't expect, after the match, the board confirmed with the sales of big earners and the shrewd business on incomings, I have passed the objective to repair the club's finances 1 year ahead of schedule.
Get in.
So that's already got a big thumbs up from the board, and it got us straight from a D to a B.
Nice.
On the thingy.
That is unreal.
I was a bit chuffed with that. It made us think, should I dip into the market? But I thought, no, let's just see how it goes. Like, don't start just shooting all the money out everywhere. So on the 26th of September, I'll just shoot mainly through these because they're just pre-season games, lads. So one thing from my lineup is I mentioned Hector Hernandez, the left back, having a mint name.
Yeah.
He like got injured for like 3 months. So that's why that Salva Ruiz is playing. But it turned out to be a bit of a godsend, to be honest. But we'll get on to that. So be careful how I say this. On the 26th September, we played Negraria in a convincing 8-0 win in pre-season.
Love that.
Uche Agbo scored. Captain Celso Borges scored 2. Capini got a 3. Centre half Osede scored, and not the actual man, but Rui Costa scored.
Imagine a 50-year-old Rui Costa.
Love it.
And then 4 days later, we played Viverio and won 9-0. So I was getting a bit excited. I was like storming pre-season. I don't know what was going on.
Tell you what, like I've noticed on saves that like even like when players do mint and friendlies, that the confidence pure goes up.
Yeah.
Like, I went on my dynamics and flying like. But Nicolo Armini scored. Cam called Reiko scored 3. Ignacio Gonzalez scored 3. Moa made his debut. And remember when I mentioned Diego Roland got injured? He came off the bench and scored. So I was like pure happy with that. I was like, right, Roland's getting back to fitness. But But however, I was unhappy with. I came out the dressing room and was greeted by the press, who informed me that while the game was going on, my director of football made a bid for 37-year-old goalkeeper Lee Grant from Manchester United.
What?
My director of football has had nothing to do with any transfer over the entire summer and thought, I need to get into the business here, and made a bid for Lee Grant. And thank fuck it was rejected.
Is there no way
because I would not have been happier.
No. Is there no way you can terminate the director of football's contract or anything?
Like a mutual consent thing, I would do that. Like, get rid of that. If he's going to,
I didn't know what to do because I thought if I get higher up, it might come in handy. But I just left it for the minute because he didn't really have anything to do with transfers, so I was all right.
Fucking Lee Grant.
But honestly, I was fuming. Like, do you know when it popped up on my thing? I thought it was like another team, and I was like, you know when you like what is it? When you look at when it comes on your feed.
Like the social feed.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Lee Grant, and then I read it again. It was like Lackarunya make 1K bid, and I was like, right, what the fuck is this about?
He's offered $1,000.
And rejected $1,000.
He's offered $1,000.
Like, Lee Grant. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, aye, some of the finances that he was offering was ridiculous. Like, hopefully, I wouldn't have went in with the contract offer anyway, because I've got a lad called Carlos Abad, and I've got a young keeper called Lucho, who's like, all right, and I was quite happy with my keepers. Like, that was the first thing I looked at, to be honest, was like, how good are my keepers? But they were all right, so I was like, there's no need. And then that dickhead. So yeah, September finishes with the first bit of a grovel with the board, but it's all right. It was rejected. It cooled down. So this is when I got my first shock of the Spanish league, in which I'd read the rules at the start of October.
Yeah,
I had to implement my squad, and I was just going off the 25 players, blah blah blah. That's not how the case in Segunda B.
Oh no.
I had to finalise my squad, and you're only allowed 22 players, and of the 22 players, you're only allowed 16 to be over the age of 22.
Oh my word!
Yes. So
how do you even manage with that, man?
I managed to get it in that people that missed out were a winger called Keko, who was the only winger that I'd actually kept because he could play wing back. He could play a few different positions.
Yeah.
Centre back Derek Osidi, centre mid called Yango Gandai, who's Spanish. I was like, what kind of Spanish name is that? Yango Gandai, and then a cam called the only cam to miss out, because obviously I've filled my squad with cams, was Mona Muesca, but like his stats were terrible, so I didn't really care. And he was young enough to put in the under 20 squad.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Deadline day.
Lucky that though that you got away with it just about.
Yeah. I had to rejig. Originally, I left out a centre half called Granero, but I didn't know he'd just been signed by the club. Like, it wasn't my signing, but obviously in real life, Deportivo had just signed him. So he kicked off, but you had like a day. Like, start of October, it tells you your squad, but you don't have to finalise it till the 4th. So I took Asadi out and put him back in just to try and keep the cool.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Asadi is 27-year-old. I thought he'd be kicking off like, oh, I'm not playing, I want to be out on 27. He didn't even say anything. So I got away with it a bit.
You're going to try and flog him? You're going to try and flog him, seeing how he's not in the squad?
Well, the day that you think of your squad's deadline day. Deadline day is the 5th of October. So the only business that happened was Keko was sold to Nantes for 650k, and he'll join them in January.
Yeah.
Which I was happy for, because when I looked at him properly, he was on $7,000 a week as well. So the board were just like licking their lips, like, sound. Yeah, that's fine.
Offer $2,000 for Lee Grant now.
Yeah.
More like
I was like, no one tell that director of football we've sold Keko.
Director of football's Lee Grant's dad.
No real signings did happen. Again, around the world, like I told you last time, like COVID.
Yeah.
Nothing apart from Almira in the second division above me, were the busiest busiest team on incomings. Do you want to have a guess how many players they signed in this window?
14.
I was going to say like 10, but
19 players.
Jesus.
wow.
That is a rebuild, that. That is
How
a
many?
rebuild.
19 players.
That is an overhaul of a squad. Like,
Oh, I was like that. Like, I'll be looking if that job guns. But anyway, 10th of October, last pre-season game, Real Madrid B. I'm missing all key starters. Celso Borges, Nicolo Armini, Harvey White, and Mudja Sadiq are all on international duty. And I'm going to tell you about Mudja Sadiq now because he becomes one of my favourite players on this game. A young 20-year-old Spanish centre-half. And the only reason I put him in my team is he has 18 pace. So I thought, right, decent. And the kid's mint. Absolutely mint. So we won 5-2. Quite happy with considering like my spine of my team's not playing. There's only really Harvey White that doesn't start for us. That was on international duty for England under 20s. So 5-2. Diego Roland scored 2. First start since injury. Ignacio Gonzalez scored again. Capini came off the bench and scored. And Rui Costa came off the bench and scored again.
Look at this Rui Costa lad.
So yeah, that's pre-season over. Like I say, I won't try to talk too much about pre-season because, like, let's face it, no one really gives a shit. But I'm gonna have to talk about it because I haven't got much more because I'm already midway through October and that's all I've got. So 18th, the season finally begins.
Get in.
Away to Unistas. My lineup, lads, is Ignet Carlos Abad, right wing back. I play 4-2-3-1, all narrow cams. Right back, George Valin, but I say wing back because I've got them as wing backs attack, both of them. I went ballsy a bit. Mainly reason for that is I play a deep line playmaker, defend, and a ball winning midfielder, and Sadiq's rapid as fuck. So I was like, right, if my wing backs can for a wonder, I should have enough to cover. So George Valin right back, Mudja Sadiq and Nicola Armini centre halves, Salva Ruiz left back, ball winning midfielder Uche Agbo, and deep line playmaker Celso Borges. The three behind striker are on loan Felix Nemecha and Moa, paired with Ignacio Gonzalez and Diego Roland up top. I've looked at selling Diego Roland, even though he's my star player, because I nearly fell off my couch because he's on 20 grand a week.
In the third tier.
My average, he's 26, he's on 20 grand a week. Don't get me wrong, stats wise, he's by far my best player, but my average wage is 6 grand a week. And he's on 20.
He's got to do the business. I'm genuinely excited to hear how this game goes out. Like, I'm pure on the
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. When I'm listening to yours and you're like Crespo, I'm like, how are we talking shit here? Like, there's no one knows any of my players.
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So
you're in a proper damned if you do and damned if you don't situation in regards to him. You sell him, the bottle can Raj, but if he's min,
yeah, I know. That's what I'm like. I'm like, the fans are going ape if I sell him. And to be fair, if I sell him, my only other strikers are a 35-year-old Miku and a 20-year-old you had on loan who would from AC Milan, Capini, who we don't know what's like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Rui Costa can play up front, but he's a cam. So I'm like, oh. So the best thing about Footy Manager, we've had the flying pre-season. First half, not one highlight, just all text. It says I've had like 12 shots, but I haven't had one highlight. So I'm getting into the lads like, come on, it should be better than this. Fair enough, we're away from home. So basically finish off winning 2-0. The new formation gives us a fright because the goal scorer was actually 2 goals by deep line playmaker Celso Borges.
All those attacking players.
Yeah, I was like, shit. And then the bad news about it was 2 days after the game, Nicola Armini comes in, whips off his kegs and shows us his lump he's got, and he's out for 7 weeks with a hernia. So I'm mentioning that because I know like Jay was going through his lineups and like saying the changes. I kind of try to stay. So for the next few months, my 2 are Uche, Agbo and Celso, and the same back four with obviously Amini coming out. Bergantinos went into centre back with Sadik, which ended up being all right because Bergantinos is he's a CDM, but you can play centre back, and he's as a ball playing defender. His stats are like really good. He's not quick because he's 35, but he's got Sadik next to him with 18 pace.
It's pure golden when you've got a rapid centre back.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute lifesaver.
On that game, it makes such a difference.
Yeah,
like, having a rapid centre back. If you get two, then that's.
Well, I had two with Armini. Like he wasn't rapid, but he was quick, and then it was like, oh great, he's gone.
Aye. 18 pace for a centre back's mint, like.
I know, so I was happy with that. So next game on the 24th, like I say, played the same team apart from Bergantinos coming in for Armini. It's Derby Day, if you want to call it that. Playing Celta Vigo B. But I'm informed it's a derby, so
that must kill them in real life. That must kill the claw in real life. They'll hate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have another derby. There's two derbies I've got in the league. One's like Ferro, which are in the so I've got that to fall back on. But Celta Vigo B, class. 2-0 up after 15 minutes. Felix Nemecha both goals. Absolutely loving it. Awarded a penalty. Celso Borges puts away his third of the season. And then second half, Diego Roland got injured again, but luckily after the game it was just a tight 1 to 4 days thing, tight hamstring. But Capini came off the bench and scored 2. So a bit of pressure on Roland.
Whoa.
I know. 5-1 win. Board happy. 2 wins out in a row, and then it's weird as well because I don't know what level I'm playing. Like that's the thing. I'm like, Celta Vigo be good. Like,
surely they aren't. But you can only beat what's in front of you, can't you?
Yeah. So next game is the last game in October, the 31st, Halloween. But here we go. Away to Caruxo. First minute, 50 seconds in, Celso Borges, 4th goal of the season. Man's on fire from deep line playmaker. And then tense for like ages. Like I can't lie, they put us under pressure a lot. Fair few shots. But Diego Roland steps up, comes back. I started Campini. Didn't do well from the start. Had like a 6.2. I was like, Jesus. Brought Roland on, and he got his first of the season, like in the league. So can't really complain. October finished top, 3 wins from 3. People that are near us are Salamanca and Pontevedra. I didn't really do like top goal scorer stats around the league because I don't know the players, and I didn't really want to hear it. I'll do that in hopefully future seasons if I get there. But I didn't want to like bore. We don't know that. Just
as long as you're doing your own club stats.
Yeah, I'll do my own. Like say somehow Borges is top. I would presume with 4 goals he'd probably top scorer in the league at the minute. But bit of a shock there from the deep lying playmaker.
That's quality, man.
So November starts straight away. Absolute kick in the bollocks. Felix Nemecha is injured in training, out for 6 weeks. So
as always,
I've got a lad on loan who I didn't sign. He's on loan in real life called Jose Lara. He's on loan from Sevilla. He comes into cam for him, and so his stats are all right. So I'm not too bad. And the best thing about it was the 3 cams I was playing had a little bit of imbalance because they're all right-footed. He's left.
Oh, that's good.
So I moved Moa into like the more of the centre, directly behind Roland, and played kept Gonzalez on the left and put Lara on the right, so cut in and stuff. So on the 8th of November, just getting up in front of the lot, we travelled to Zamora, which I quite liked. Big Bobby. And Jose Lara on loan, first start. Shows his frustration at the manager by scoring a first half hat-trick.
Wow.
So I'm just sitting there, just, happy but a bit tense, like, oh, fuck me. Why have I've played this kid for about 20 minutes of the season, just bringing him on like here and there, and he's just bagged a first half hat-trick. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
All the armchair depot fans, pure slate, and should have been playing him from the start.
Aye, pure. The Arizos has gone mental, man. Got from the rafters, getting it in the neck. So 4-1 at half time. Capini scored again to make it 4-1 at half time, and that's how it finished. Just a typical footy manager. I could put 8 on someone here, and the second half's like pure boring and shit.
You never do it.
You never go on forward, but they're all like, "Nah, we'll just stay."
The only thing that pissed me off. 4-1 win. Zamora had one shot on target to win in. I was like, there you go. There's footy manager. But, a big thing for us at the minute, lads, which I'm like really like pure happy with. For the last 2 games, right back Jorge Valin, he's got 7.6s in like both games, and Salva Ruiz, who wasn't going to start for us, Hector Hernandez was going to start. He's got like 7.2s and 7.4s. So the whole back four, the average rating was about 7.24. So I was like buzzing with my defense. Like I said, I don't know what I'm playing. I can only, like Jay said, I can only play what's in front of us. But at the minute, they're doing all right. Like I'm happy with the defense getting 7.4s and Celso Borges just smashing goals in when he wants to.
Absolutely. It's what you want, isn't it? As long as you're winning, there's no better football than winning football, mate.
So Lara finished with an 8.7 that game, and Agbo, he finished with 7.7. He's been like a proper unsung hero for us, just as a ball-winning midfielder. And quite happy with him because he's 25-year-old and it keeps coming up like, should he be called up for Nigeria? And obviously I'm like straight in the press, like, I definitely.
Really not wanting him to.
But I kept him because I thought his stats are good and he's a ball winning midfielder. He'll go with how I want to play, but I didn't expect anything from him. Yeah. And like, nice having him I'm quite like this kid. He's not banging in goals, he's not getting assists, but he's getting a solid 7. And like on most highlights, he's winning the ball back for us before when I start an attack. So quite looking forward to see how he gets on.
Good stuff.
Where are we at now? On the 15th of November. Oh, that was it. So it begins. Problem with being in the lower divisions. Cadiz have started watching Sadiq. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. So this is where it begins with the players, really. No one's watching Roland yet because he's not fully back to fitness. But Sadiq's getting watched. Obviously, 21-year-old Spanish centre-half. He's getting in every under-21 squad, and it's going to happen, isn't it?
Matter of time, innit? Because you have to have minimum fee release clauses in the contract as well, don't you?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Does he not?
No, I don't know why. I thought that all of them seem to, but I was like, because I looked at his, I thought, shit, but he doesn't. So I don't know what's going on. Might be a game of the glitch, but I thought that. But on the 15th, we travel to Guayajero, bottom of the league, and we just put the peasants to the sword, 2-0. Right back Valin scored, and nice to see. We're awarded another penalty, but I'd already took Celso Borges off, and I was like, oh, well, Roland, I'll take this. No, up-stepped young Englishman Harvey White to get his first goal of the season.
Get in.
And then I went on his stats for. I'll have a look at little Harvey, see what he's doing. His pens are 16 with like 17 composure. I was like,
wow,
oh,
stick him on everything.
It's like 12, and he's not scared of anything. But yeah, Valin 7.4 again, goal. Agbo 7. Lara 7.2, still in for. Salva Ruiz 7.7. Can't complain with the defence at all.
Wow, great start that.
Absolutely.
So then, 22nd November, first blip of the season, first drop points. Pure boring, 0-0 away at Salamanca in third place Salamanca. So I'm not going to get a lie. When I was like beating teams, so when I beat Guadalajara, I thought this could be a piss. This like, but it was quite nice to be brought down back to earth with a 0-0. Like, and to be fair, say Guadalajara were bottom, Zamora were like 12. Like it wasn't hard. Like I was beating teams that I was supposed to beat, I think. So first game up was Salamanca. They're in second. 0-0. Pissed us off, but like I say, can't win them all. Kept us 5 points ahead of them. So like, at least I didn't lose, but it meant that Ponteverde won and they went 2 points behind us.
Oh, so you're 2 points clear at top after that game.
Yeah, I'm 2 points clear at the top, but I've got one more game left and then I'm done. 29th, and like I'm pure happy that this game was in November so I could talk about it. You probably heard of the team. So to end the month we hosted Compostela.
Oh yeah, I had a Compostela serve once on TM 1 or 2.
And it's my favourite game of the season so far, and I'm just gonna say it now. It's arguably my favourite game I've ever played on Footy Manager.
Wow.
Just for what happens, it's just total bullshit, but it's class. 10 minutes in, Salva Ruiz comes up from left back, wins a pen. Celso Borges, 5th goal of the season, 1-0. 20 minutes in, Salva Ruiz again gets down the wing, another pen. Sergio Borges, sixth goal of the season, 2-0. 41 minutes, corners whipped in. He's all over him, ref. Pen, 3-0. Celso Borges.
No way, man.
53rd minute. Ref, that's a pen. 4-0.
No way, man.
Celso Borges. And then 89th minute, own goal.
That's fucking unreal, man.
5-0. Oh no, sorry, I've got it mixed up there. The third goal was the own goal. So 10 minutes pen, 20 minutes pen, 41 minutes own goal, 53 minutes pen, 89 minutes pen. Celso Borges, all 4 goals, all 4 pens. I was laughing my tits off on the couch. Dog was looking at us like, "What are you doing?"
4 pens. I've never had that. I have played so many versions of this game dating back to 1997, and I have never had 4 pens in a game.
That photo is definitely gone on Instagram. when we put the photos up.
I love the fact he converted all 4, man.
Well, I was like, he's gonna miss one. Like the first one, when you get a Footy Manager, you just think, he's gonna miss this. Yeah. Especially with I know you've noticed it on 20. There was that glitch where strikers and that just missed pens all the time.
Score a pen.
So he scored it, and then he scored the second. I thought the hat-trick one he was going to miss, bang. And then the 89th minute, I started to even think to myself, why have I left him on? Like, he's got a hat-trick, but I've still left him on 89th minute. He's not letting any of the strikers have it. He's still stepping up.
What you want, man. Confidence.
So he finished with an 8.9 rating. Tell you what was funny, lads, I didn't really notice. I was only making 3 subs. I can make 5. I've been making 3 all season. I can make 5. We were fucking up.
Playing not getting minutes. Like, I've only got 3 subs.
So, like, the only subs I've been making were really, I bought Ignacio Gonzalez on. No, I've got a cam called Reiko. I know I haven't really mentioned him yet, but I do quite like him. He gets decent ratings. He had a 7.1 because I think he won the last pen. Ignacio Gonzalez off, Agbo off. That's why Borges probably played the whole game, because I brought Harvey White on for Agbo.
Yeah.
And Rolla went off for Campini. But yeah, that's it for November. I finished Ponteverde. They got beat, so I finished November 5 points clear.
Quality.
In second, like little things to talk about. I think I didn't tally it up. I think that's Borges with 9 goals from deep lying playmaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. He's on.
Wow.
But yeah, quite happy with it. 7 games played, and he's got 7 goals.
That's pure. That sounds like a pure enjoyable save. Like
19 points, 5 points clear. Pontevender. Little things I'll say, quite pleased with Agbo. Like little players. After pre-season, he had quite disappointed in Gonzalez in camp. He's done next to fucking nout. Like, say Lara coming on's like been a decent spark because until he got injured, Nemecha was the only one really doing out. Moa hasn't scored. He's got a few assists, but he hasn't scored. Reiko's came off the bench and done bits. So the players I expected aren't doing the bits. The players I didn't expect are like my fullbacks, and Capini's having a better season than Roland at the minute, which is like that's putting in the head like 20 grand a week, and he's not doing much here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that finishes me in November, lads. I'll stop talking shit about players you've never heard of.
That must have killed you having that game and not being able to talk because like
the pen game
viewers like we aren't talking to each other about these saves. Like as recording, this is the first we're hearing about each other's saves, and it's like we talk every day and we talk about Football Manager every day, and it's brutal not being able to talk about these. That must have killed you having a game where you scored 4 pens and not being able to say.
Absolutely.
I messaged my cousin who doesn't play Footy Manager about that game because I couldn't hold it in. Honestly, I was like, look at this, what I've just done on Footy Manager. I sent him a screenshot on that like 4 pens because I couldn't send it to yous. I wouldn't even send it to him if I could talk to yous. I was just like, 4 pens in a game, man.
Fucking mint. And an own goal to top it off.
Unreal.
Quality.
Unreal. Love it.
I can't wait for the next few months, lads. But yeah, send over to Birmingham.
Getting the DeLorean and back to 1999, Birmingham. Nathan Cupid, take the lead.
So, recap. I got to a quarter-final finish in the Intertoto Cup. The board enjoyed it. I opened the season with a defeat to Tottenham, and then quite a busy season, quite busy opening league fixtures. 5 games in the month, and went the rest of the month unbeaten, apart from the Tottenham game. Ended up finishing that month in 4th position, so I thought I'm doing all right here. Then comes a big game against Liverpool, first game of September. Lo and behold, Dion Dublin's injured, can't play the game. So I had to completely not completely rearrange it all, but obviously swapped him, put David Connolly in up front with Gustavo Bartelt.
That is a difference. Big old powerhouse for little David Connolly.
So I had, in the build-up to the game, I had Gerard Houllier saying Aston Villa have no chance. I came back and said, you don't know, we'll upset the apple cart a bit. He came back and said, mate, no chance. Even England manager Kevin Keegan said that Liverpool would walk it without Dion Dublin, and went and spanked them 2-1 at Anfield, didn't I?
I thought you were building this up for a defeat. Get in.
No, I absolutely spanked them. Like, I had 78% possession, 12 goals on target, only scored 2, and this is without Super Dion. So imagine if he played, I'd have rinsed them. Both goals came from Bartel and David Connolly. David Connolly with an 89th minute winner.
Nice.
I love it.
First goal and all, wasn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, Carbone got man of the match and 2 assists. So
Who's got the other?
Bartel.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was loving that.
The man who was shit in real life, Nave's getting a string out of him.
I get
Villa.
I can manage, like. So obviously, I'm straight in the press, calling Houllier and Keegan everything under the sun. Merson got injured for a month after coming out of that game, so I was like, I've lost my right-sided midfielder now, so I don't know what to do. They went into the next game, played Leeds United at home. Away at Elland Road. Super Dion's back, so beat them 2-0. Goals from Dion Dublin and Hugo Ehiog.
Fuck the FA Cup. You're going for the league here.
Julian Joachim can play as a right-sided midfielder as well as a striker. So I just put him in for Paul Merson, and he got sent off after 10 minutes. So he's not getting anywhere near my squad ever again. Somehow managed to pull off a 2-0 win. And after that game, we've moved from 4th in the league to 3rd in the league. Level points with Arsenal on, I think it was about 16 points. 16 points. And level on, Man United were obviously running away with the league, but me and Arsenal early joint second, but I'm 3rd. So I was absolutely loving it. Like, oh, this is it. I'm going for it here. Just 3 games in September, really. Nothing else really happened. At home to Derby County. Obviously, Julian Joachim's suspended. Paul Merson's injured. So I brought in a youth player from the reserves, Michael Standing. Never heard of him at all. But
I only know of him because of Champman. Like, and that's it.
So I brought him in, and he did all right. He got a rating of a 7, but I got a 1-1 draw. Malcolm Christie opened the scoring for Derby County, and then that man again, Dion Dublin, with an 88th minute penalty,
man.
levels the score, make it 1 each. We finished 1 each. I finished September unbeaten, 7 games unbeaten, like in total, like leading from the previous month. Yeah. Dion Dublin he's the Premier League's top goal scorer at the minute. So I'm thinking, yeah, we're riding high. We finished September in 3rd. I'm thinking, bollocks to the FA Cup. I'm going for the league here, Europe. There's an international break, so I'm thinking, sweet. He's the Premier League's top goal scorer. He's the club's top goal scorer. He's only got 1 England cap to his name. Surely to God, Kevin Keegan will see sense and pick him. No. No. He drops Andy Cole and he brings in Les Ferdinand, who's got like 1 goal. And I'm like, mate, Dion's got like 11 goals or something. He's got like 14 goals all season. So I've gone in the press and I've called Keegan everything under the sun. And he's trying to justify his decision, but I'm arguing with him. So I've now changed my goal from, instead of winning the FA Cup, I'm getting this man in the England squad. Dion Dublin is getting in the England squad. I will not rest until I get Dion in the England squad because it's unfair, it's unjustified. You've got Shearer, Owen, Fowler, and now Les Ferdinand as strikers, man. Dion's better than all of them.
That's a travesty. He's not being called up.
Oh, honestly. So obviously I've obviously lost 1 game in September. I've gone that month unbeaten. I've gone a 7-game unbeaten streak. So I obviously win Manager of the Month for September. So I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with it, and the board are loving it. Fans are loving it, and obviously Villa in 3rd of the Premier League, level on points with Arsenal, and we're only 3 behind Man United, and Dylan's left us.
Oh, we've lost Dylan. Should we
carry on and see what the crack is?
Do you want to carry on, or do you want to pause?
So we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but we're back again.
Yeah.
So
carry on, mate.
Don't get shit.
So I've changed my goal from winning the FA Cup to get Dion into the England squad.
I think it should be a dual goal. That.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
Yeah.
Due to the unjustification of Sir Les getting in over Dion, absolutely depressing. So, I
can generally see you getting pissed off at home at
that. Oh yeah, like
don't pick another laptop, man. Like
raging. He keeps picking Barry, Southgate, and James, and like they're not even like standout players of the squads. To be fair, like Ehiog's pulling out better numbers than Southgate, and I don't know. It's just really annoying me that he's not getting in the squad. So in true Football Manager form, unbeaten in 7, I'm manager of the month, 3rd in the league. We're flying high. Gareth Barry is suspended and Yuko Heyo gets injured. I have an away game against Wimbledon and I go and get beat 1-0.
Oh, that's rank.
Oh, so Barry was swapped for George Boateng and David May came in for Hugo Heog. And I'm actually surprised to say that David May actually had a bad game there.
Where's Barry playing? CDM?
CDM, yeah, but he can play on the left. He can play on the left wing, or he can play left back as well. So that's quite good that he can play in 3 positions. But I play him in the middle because that's this way he's most effective, really. But yeah, lost 1-0 to a Neil Hardley goal away at Wimbledon. So
Neil Hardley.
I know I was so upset. So then, the 7-game beaten run's gone. So I thought, fine, we'll focus. Arsenal actually dropped points, so we were still level on points. Moved on to the next game. We went back to Villa Park in a game against Newcastle United. People were starting to get tired, so Michael Reisinger was knackered, so I swapped in for Mark Delaney. Echiog, Merson and Barry came back, so I was like, sweet. Standing's out, Boateng's out, May's out. We've got we're back to our core. And then I go and get beat 2-0. Duncan Ferguson with a brace.
Net.
So
But that stunk.
The curse of manager of the month has well and truly got me. Like, nothing I did would work. Like, even Dion's missing chances, and that never happens.
It must be because you started your season so early with the Intertoto Cup. Your players will be getting like goose around this. You need a 22-day international break.
I know. I was in need of something. I was questioning it. Like, I was like, why is he not scoring goals? You know what I mean? Like, and then we came to the conclusion that he must be trying to flip a property in Birmingham or something. Something's on his mind. So then we moved on and we go to a managerless bottom of the league, Leicester City. We played them. A bit of a system change. Hugo Echiog was still a bit lacking in fitness, so I took him out and I gave Olaf Melberg a Premier League debut. Nice. 21-year-old Olaf Melberg a Premier League debut. And we go and win 3-0. So I was like, come on, we're going for it. 3-0. Goals from George Boateng, which I was surprised at. Carbone scores a pearl of a free kick. Left-hand side of the box, but he puts it in the right-hand corner. Like, oh, Benito, what a goal. And Dion is firing again. Scored again. So, obviously, I'd lost 2 games in a row, so I dropped from 3rd to 7th. And obviously, that 3-0 win took us back up to 3rd, joint 2nd with Arsenal. Both of us are on 19 points. Man United are on 22, 27 or something like that. I can't remember. But I'm back 3rd. And then away game at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday. Gareth Barry's injured, so I brought in Ian Taylor because George Boateng's I know he scored, but like he's just knackered and garbage for some reason. So I brought in Ian Taylor. Thought, you're an old mush. You know how to play the game. I'll give you a go. And go and get a 1-1 draw. I was winning 1-0 for 85 minutes. Dion Dublin scored off a corner, like the dude's back. And then Giles did build, scores a 93rd minute equaliser.
That's humping that.
So at this point, the noose is coming. Like I've had such a good 2 months, and then I've just been absolutely rinsed. Like one win in 4 games, man. Like not good at all. So we have a team meeting.
That's early on to be able to team meeting that.
Mate, we're in a bad vein of form. To be fair, David James gets injured after this game and he's out for 2 months.
Oh no.
So I am stuck. I'm stuck with 2-star rating Peter Enkelman. So I am literally, it's either him or a 17-year-old Boaz Myhill. So I was thinking, I'll give Boaz Myhill his opportunity. So put him in the squad. I've put him in the squad. I've put him in the squad, and then it comes to the first game in November, and then I can't play him because he's going away for some tournament with the USA under-20s. Who knew that Boaz Myhill could play for the USA? Certainly not me. So I can't play him. JMO's injured for 2 months. I'm going to have to stick Enks in goal, aren't I? So it's just an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you. Villa Park against West Ham. Melberg's crocked. Alan Thompson's crocked. So Hugo Echiel comes back in. Joachim comes in on the left-hand side of midfield. He's completely out of position, but I've got no one else. Lee Hendry comes in for Ian Taylor. And obviously, Enkelman's in goals. And we won 3-2.
Bloody hell. West Ham have a good side on that, I know.
Honestly, like, West Ham have got a ridiculous squad, to be fair. We beat them 3-2. Dion Dublin scored 2, obviously. Julian Joachim gets the 3rd. And 2 goals from podcast favourite Trevor Sinclair.
Oh, Sinclair.
Beautiful, to be fair.
No bicycle kicks, just 2 free kicks.
Beautiful.
Like, that West Ham squad's phenomenal. It's got, like, Lampard, Canute,
Di Canio,
Rio Ferdinand, Di Canio,
Joe Cole, Carrick.
Oh, Michael Carrick's in there. Like, whoa, what a side. Like, we've got Razor Ruddock at centre half, to be fair, but like, what a side. And then obviously Keegan picks another England squad. Still no Dion. Like, this is not on. And to be fair, Keegan hasn't even won a single game yet. He's picked up a point in a draw against Denmark.
Mate, it could be you that picks Dion for England. you might get the England job.
This is why I'm wearing the shirt, because I've called him out and I said his job went from like okay to insecure. As soon as I'd seen the job was insecure, right click, declare interest. So in the press, Nathan Cupid declares interest in the England Post. And I thought, I'm just gonna get laughed at here, to be fair. Like, but then I thought, no, you know what? Fuck it, I've gone from 3rd to 5th, but still, like, I was manager of the month last month. Dion Dublin's firing in goals. I was 3rd with the Villa, man. Like, I deserve at least a shot. And then just before my next game, the FA came up like in a press conference, well, not like a press conference, but like a statement. It was like the FA consider Cupid's interest. So I was like, oh, never mind winning the FA Cup with Dion. Now I'm going to win the Euros with Dion. So, and then nothing. It kind of cooled off after that.
Oh, good God!
So then I go up to the northeast again in an away game against Sunderland, a bit close to the heart.
And I hate playing Sunderland Football Manager than what you use if you've ever had to do it.
Aye.
Well, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. Like, I wanted to win, but at the same time, and in it was Sunderland at that kind of time. I got beat 2-1. I took the lead with Benito Carbone, and then Quinnan Phillips go and score. Kevin Phillips scored an 87th minute winner. So heartbroken to lose again, but if you're going to lose to Quinnan Phillips, then fair enough. You know what I mean? Southgate got injured in training, so that was good. So he's not in the England squad no more. So there's a chance that David May could get in.
You know.
So he's out. So I'll put Melberg in. And obviously we got beat 2-1. But just the goals, like, do you know when you just like, obviously he's got he's like a 2-star rating for Peter Enkelman, and JMO is like 4.5. But you know when you just like you know the goals and you're watching it and you're like, JMO saves that. Like, you just know that JMO is going to save them, and they're just shitty, sloppy goals that he's letting in. So I went into the transfer market, and obviously they can't join until January. Another thing, like, you know, I signed Wesley Sneijder. I thought he was going to join there and then. No, he can't join until January. So somehow I'm managing to struggle without Wesley Sneijder. So I agreed a fee with Middlesbrough, £1.6 million, and I brought in Mark Schwarzer. So he's joining in January, and then Enkelman is out. Enkelman is gone. I tried to get Mark Crossley, but Nottingham Forest wanted like $5 million for him. It's like,
Oofed.
mate, like £5 million, not a chance.
5 million for big norms.
Who are you going to start though? Who are you going to start? Because surely Schwartz is a starter on that game.
Well, he is for the Borough, but you know when it comes up on your contract, it was like he wanted to be a regular starter. So I was like, mate, not really. I've got JMO, man. He's in England.
You're going to sign him and then just like try and keep him happy as a second choice.
Well, I put down as like he'll play regular. Obviously, he's not going to play regular, but I brought him in anyway. So I've told a little white lie to Swarty, but you know, JMO's still injured, so he'll get game time.
Yeah.
I also sold Ian Taylor. Ian Taylor went to Middlesbrough for a fee of 4.2 million.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a nice little income. So
that's coming in the January.
That's coming in the January. So that kind of leaves me with Boateng, Barry, and Hendry for like central midfielders. Yeah. But like Alan Thompson's a bit ski with at left wing. But Hendry can play out on the left wing, which I've never heard of ever. But Lee Hendry can play out there, so he's been playing out there quite a lot. So I went into the market and I tried to sign Owen Hargreaves from Bayern Munich.
Yes.
You can put he's only worth 65 grand. I put in a bid for 110 grand. No, we want 38 million pounds.
Okay, now.
Yeah, I've got like 4. That's not. I tried to get Jonathan Green in from Man United. Not having it. Man United want 20 million for him. Tried to get Michael Carrick from West Ham. West Ham wants 60 million for Michael Carrick. Are you having a day off? And then I tried to go for Jimmy Bullard, and they wanted 20 million for Jimmy Bullard. So I'm like, I am not getting any of these players that would make at least some form of impact in the middle of the park. So I went to Ipswich and signed Matt Holland for 200k. So I've got Wesley Sneijder.
I quite like it. I don't know why.
Me as well.
I feel like I shouldn't, but I quite like it.
So I've got Mark Schwarzer, Wesley Sneijder, and Matt Holland coming in January. So that's
for the title push.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to put this. Hey, if you want to win leagues, you've got to go and buy players like Matt Holland.
Get yourself to Argentina, son. That's where you want to go.
Honestly, man. So then I had an away game at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Still no Southgate. Still no JMO. Go and get beat 2-0. Gianfranco Zola with both goals. You literally cannot stop that man. You know what I mean?
It's another one you can't really complain about there, can you?
No.
Like,
oh nah. I'd stuck Olof Melberg on him, like just move, just follow him. Nah, not at all. At this point, I'm still like worrying about the fact that Dion's not scoring, but like I've got David Connolly I've brought in, not scoring. Bartel's all of a sudden just dried up. So I'm kind of like struggling for goals. So I went into the reserves and checked to see like who was the best, because obviously if you watched episode 1 or listened to episode 1, you found out that I had signed a 15-year-old Dean Ashton. So I thought maybe Dino could give me something that I need. And no, my coaches were like, no, don't take him up. But Darius Vassell's on fire, so I thought I'll give Vassell his debut in the Premier League. So we play Bradford in the last game of November, and we get a 1-1 draw. Vassell does all right. He gets the assist for Carbone, and then Andy O'Brien scores a 90th minute equaliser.
oh.
And then I dropped to 9th.
You dropped as low as 9th.
Yeah, I've gone from being unbeaten in 7, 3rd, level on points with Arsenal, to manager a month. FA considering my request to be England manager, to 9th in the league and signing Matt Holland. So it's a bit of a downward spiral. But Christmas is coming. You never know. But that's it really. I don't want to go into too much with my like 11s and things like that. But obviously my top performing player at the minute is Dion Dublin. But apart from that, nothing else is really standing out. Like
you'll have the cup draw coming up as well.
Yeah, I have. It's coming up soon. But to be honest with you, just JMO's injury is absolutely rippled us 2 months without like England's second choice goalkeeper.
That's making that.
It's a minging time as well because you'll have loads of fixtures in December.
Yeah, and I was doing so well. Like we were flying, we were doing really well, and then get hit with that. And then my next fixtures, I think my next fixture is against Man United, and then I've got Arsenal after. I think I've got. I'm trying to remember who else I've got, but I'm sure I've got Man United next, which isn't going to be good because they're on fire and running away with the league.
So when the third round of the cup comes round, are you just you won't be rotating players there? You'll be playing your strongest teams in every round.
No, I am going foot to the floor. Like I am taking this. I am taking the FA Cup. The FA Cup is coming to the Midlands regardless. Even if it's a final against like Coventry or something, at least it's coming to the Midlands.
They got to the final that season.
They did, mate. They did.
They got to the final that season. It's the last. Technically, it's the last FA Cup at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, going against Chelsea.
Aye.
Yeah, I'd rather not play Chelsea the way Gianfranco Zola's playing at the minute. It's just so infuriating. Like, you can be like, but it's like say, it's just Football Manager. Like, I am enjoying it. Like, don't get me wrong, I was absolutely heartbroken when David James rocked for 2 months. But you know what I mean? It's Football Manager.
No, it's ridiculous. Like you press the space bar to move it on to the next day, and then it's like loading. You could be like, oh, like I'm doing pure well, like probably enjoying this save, and then it pops up, boom. Like you said, David James out 2 months. Or it was like me, Buffon out 4 to 6 weeks. No, for fuck's sake.
It's just annoying. Yeah.
Shit things as well. Like for me, Armenia, hernia. Fuck off. Why?
There was on Champman 4, the really glitchy one, the 0203. There's like players are always out with like fractured arms and dislocated shoulders all the time. It's like, how many footballers do you hear have dislocated shoulders and fractured arms? And you're getting like 4 every like few weeks. Nah, like
it's just Football Manager, isn't it? There's always something like that around the corner, but we can still I am like enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to my new signings coming in. Like,
it's always a buzz that when you get.
Can't wait to see how Schneider links up with Matt Holland.
Well, he's got Holland in his name, so it'll maybe be pure mint.
You never know with Matt Holland. He's young. He might be absolutely mint for you. Might be like a burst of energy you need.
I think so. Like we need something. Like
if it's the Matt Holland that turned up for Ireland in the 2002 World Cup, then you're on to an absolute winner.
I am considering a couple more. I'm thinking of getting a couple more out the window and trying to bring some more in. I'm thinking of getting rid of Alan Thompson, and I'm thinking of getting rid of Alan Wright as well, because Dennis Irwin's become available at Man United. So it could be good.
God.
I fucking hope when we do episode 3 of Football Manager Chronicles that you've got Dennis Irwin lined up coming in the January.
I want a good December so I can become England manager.
I want to sack goal 2 off next week and just do Football Manager 3. This is the best thing we've ever done. This.
I don't know. To be fair, I'd be pure game for that.
But like I say, looking forward to the next 3 months and see. We've got a January transfer window to go through now, so.
Oh yes,
that's going to be fun.
Can't wait to hear how everyone's January transfer window goes.
Same.
Right? Should we? That's it then, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
And dusted for another episode of Prawn Sandwich Podcast and another episode of Football Manager Chronicles.
Yeah. If you wanna follow the updates on Instagram, it's prawn_sandwich for the hold. I don't do them all as one. Just keep an eye out for them. I do them like separate days for the lads. Just screenshots. It's just screenshots of our season so far and stuff. So the first lot of 3 are on there now, and then once this episode's released, we'll put more up.
Yeah, absolutely. They're available on Twitter as well, which is @prawn. It's @prawn podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Handle. And send us yours. That's
it's mint getting people's.
Absolutely, it's unbelievable.
Send us yours. Want to see them. And again, like big shout out to the FM Retro Group as well for the database me and Nathan using. on FM20. And yeah, so that's it. Till the next
See you
time.
later. Arrivederci.
How's the bacon, did you say?
Batistuta! Oh, what a fantastic hit! Roy Keane on Haaland. Here's Sancho.